Hey. Stop it. Hey, welcome to the show today. My name is Blossom. When I tell you we got a powerful story, but like I keep telling y'all, I am not the one to gossip. Today, this woman of God is going to tell you about dream big. And that's what we must do, continue to dream big. Like I said, I'm not one to gossip. We're going to invite Miss Denise Hare today. Don't change that channel.
Everyday life, steady coming at me. Everyday problems, steady trying to grab me. So I'ma give them up to you.
Give them up, hey.
I'ma throw them up to you.
I'ma throw them up.
I can't run from my problems. I'ma run to the one that can solve them. And I'ma give them up to you.
Give them up, hey.
I'ma throw them up to you.
Hey, welcome back to the show today. Like I said, my name is Blossom. We got a great speaker. When I tell you a mighty woman of God has big vision and short, but she has big visions and not ashamed to help anybody. That's the only thing I can say. We want to welcome today my special guest, Miss Denise Hare. Thank you, Denise, for being here with us today, girl. Now, don't act like you don't know how to talk, because I know you know how to talk.
Yes, ma'am.
But today we just want you to come and just encourage somebody and let somebody know what God has done, doing, and going to do in your life with this organization that you have.
Okay. It all started when I was young, and I had so many issues growing up that I was like the oddball in the group. Mm-hmm. But I didn't let that get me down. I held on to my faith, because even as a child, God was dealing with me. And I can remember growing up, I began to have health issues and didn't know that hearing loss ran in my family. And when I was diagnosed with hearing loss, I could have let that make me feel bad or became the oddball, in my family, whatever. But I was determined to be that person that God had called me to be. Mm-hmm. So even in high school, I tried out for cheerleading, and I didn't make it the first time. But when I went again and I tried out, I made it. And a couple years later, after that, I became the captain of the cheerleading squad. But before then, I was learning even then, and I didn't even realize it, that you can't let when you mess up detour you from being great. Right. So after doing that or whatever, I became an adult, and I ran into many situations in my life that could have taken me off the scene or whatever. But I just thank God for his grace and mercy just being behind me and pushing me even when I didn't understand what was going on. Right. So then I got my job a few years later when becoming an adult, and I started off in housekeeping. And while I was working in housekeeping, I overheard some people that was talking about transferring or whatever, and I was like, what do you mean transferring? And she said, well, you just get a sheet of paper and you fill it out and you turn it in to your supervisor, you can get another job. So I did that, and I went into another job for about 6 months being a transporter. So while being a transporter, a girl saw me and she was like, hey, we want you to come work with us in our department. Right. So then I went over to that department, and then I moved again for about 2 times. So by me not having a degree, and you see nurses and doctors and people younger than you coming in doing these great things, and you like, well, what about me? Right. But even then, God had a plan, and I didn't even understand what was taking place. Yeah. But then I received a job as a surgical tech after taking some classes for about 2 to 3 months. And when I became a surgical tech, the girl who was in the position that I was applying for, she got another job. So then I became a surgical tech resource coordinator. Mm-hmm. Mind you, I didn't have a degree or anything. And people was like, well, how did she get the job? How did she get the job? I said, tell them to see him. Right. And I didn't understand then what God was doing. But even during that time, it was a process. Right. So then God began to deal with me, and I can look at my house, and I had dream here, dream there, just dream everywhere. And I didn't really realize the story about Joseph until I got grown. Wow. And then even Joseph went through a process. Yeah. And when he went through the process, he ended up coming out on top. Wow. So then God just kept dealing with me, dreams. And so I went out on my own to start DOTS, which is Dreamers of Today Society. And I went out on my own, but then everything failed. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, you didn't see God, so go back to square one. So after I went back to square one, God started opening up doors for me, and he was giving me visions and dreams. And as he was giving to me, and I began to step out on faith, God began to work mighty things in that or whatever. And not only my life was touched, but other people's lives was touched by it also.
Okay, so now let's go back to the part where you were saying about your hearing loss. How old were you when that occurred?
Surprisingly, I was about 12 or 13 years old.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would never, much as you talk with me, I would have never thought about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
it's just a blessing that God has allowed you to be able to, and that just lets you know, no kind of obstacle can stand in your way. Nothing can stop you when God has something for you.
That's
you know what I'm
right.
saying? And that's what this show's about, to let people know that if God did it for one, he could do it for the next person. You know,
That's
he
right.
just don't pick, I'm gonna pick you, skip over it. I'm not, he knows what he's doing. He knows who's gonna follow through. You know. So now back to the dreams. When your organization, what do you do? I mean, you're saying dreams. What are your dreams?
My dream is to just touch a fallen generation.
Okay.
But also in the midst of me trying to touch them, I want them to realize their dreams, because God has something in each and every one of us. And I always tell people, what you have inside of you, the world needs it. Right. So don't sit down on what God has given you. So everybody have dreams and visions, but the main thing is, are you going to take a leap of faith and step out on your dreams and vision that God has given you? Because somebody told me a while back, they said where there's dreams and vision, God also provide provision.
That's
He's going
true.
to take care of it.
You know, we have to make sure that he's the one that's giving us the vision too,
right.
because sometimes it's be some strange fire. I mean, we done concocted up and we want him to bless it, but if it's strange to him, he's not going to touch it at all. So. And I heard that the other day, and I was like, well, maybe that's why I ain't get that man the way I wanted, because I was trying to start something. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful when we know, and then when you know that God told you to do something, you can't let nobody discourage you.
That's
and,
right.
and I thank God for you when it comes to telling people to dream big. And like I said, you short, but you got big dreams. It don't matter how big, how small, long as you continue through it all. But I want you to look in the camera right now and just minister to somebody and just tell them what God has told you to tell them today.
Okay. Which one again? I just want to tell somebody that no matter what you went through in life, it's for a purpose, and it's all for God's glory. So no matter if you don't have a high school diploma, it doesn't matter if you're not married, it doesn't matter if you lived in a project, you can still be all that God has for you. So dream big, dreamers.
Yeah, that's it. That's a dream big, dreamers. Because you have to dream. You know, you sit around and talking about, I wish I coulda. You know, a lot of people sat around and just draw little small things, and then they became millionaires, you know, because they dreamed big. You know, like with me, I'm dreaming that I'm 5'7" and weigh about 112 pounds, and that's a dream.
That's right.
It might be a nightmare to somebody else, but it's a dream to me. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? When you know that you know that you know, you can't let nobody stop you. And like I said, you know, I just want to thank you for coming on here and just sharing your strength and your hopes, and just letting people know that we can dream big today. And it is what it is. Either we're gonna barbecue or mildew. That's what I tell people.
That's
you know,
right.
and I want to barbecue because I like to eat. You
Me
know what I'm
too.
saying? And if you don't want to be old and then saying, I wish I coulda,
That's
I
right.
woulda. You know what I'm saying? So what if you'd have stopped at the age of 12? You know, because people so cruel. You know,
That's
and
right.
and some people can be like that. And at times we done been like that. But like I said, I want you just to keep on dreaming and just. Girl, I'm just stuck because for somebody to be so short, you're very powerful. And I keep saying it because, and that's just in my spirit, no matter how short you, me, anybody else are, as long as we can dream anything, we can accomplish anything.
That's right.
I'm a living witness of that. You know, like I said, I tell everybody about my addiction. You know, smoking crack for 19 years, and by the grace of God, 11 years clean. But if I didn't keep dreaming,
That's
then
right.
the books wouldn't have came out.
That's right.
You know, and then if I wouldn't have kept dreaming, then the talk show, you know. And that came, God opened this door, you know what I'm saying?
Amen.
So, like I said, it's just about dreaming. And like I said, I just want to just tell everybody that we thank God for this woman coming and telling her story. Now, she's not finished, so don't talk about going and changing no channels. But I just wanted to let everybody know we just want to thank her for being here and just helping me today to realize to keep
Thank
on
you.
dreaming. Don't just stop here.
That's
You know,
right.
one day I'm going to walk down the red carpet. That's my
right.
dream, you
That's
know,
right.
and it's going to happen.
That's
Dream
right.
big. Like I said, don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
Here's the sower, Michael Guido of Meta, Georgia, with a seed for the garden of your heart.
One morning, the preacher asked the little boy, "Who made you, Jimmy?" He answered, "God made part of me." "What do you mean?" he asked. "God made me real little, and I growed the rest myself," he said. All at once, we see God creating the universe in a display of power, culminating with a man and woman like himself. Before long, sin entered the world, bathed in innocence. Creation was shattered by the fall, but there's hope. No matter how dark the situation, God has a plan. God loves you, and he wants to save you. Won't you let him?
A seed from the sower has originated from the studios of the Guido Evangelistic Association.
Welcome to Creation Minute. I'm Eric Hovind. In this episode, we want to discuss how big is big. To find that out, let's go to the simulation room. With a diameter of nearly 8,000 miles, the Earth is big. But not that big when you compare it to, say, Jupiter or even the Sun. Or when you step outside of our solar system, stars like Arcturus or Antares. And just when you don't think it could get any bigger, it does. Wow. That's the Earth. Kind of puts things in perspective, doesn't it? No wonder God says, "Heaven is my throne and the earth my footstool." To learn more about creation, visit us at creationminute.com.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world. And they can respond, "I became a soldier."
Hey, new guy. Shovel, right?
Yeah, Rake, and I'm not exactly new. I've seen some action.
You're a shovel. Come on.
Oh, real nice coming from a rake. Ooh, get these heavy leaves off me. Hey, man, my last gig, I almost got electrocuted, nearly drowned, and went head-to-head with a metal pipe. That guy never called 811 to see if it was safe to dig.
It doesn't take the sharpest tool in the shed to call 811.
Our guy calls every time he digs. The mailbox, landscaping, the deck. Oh, man, that was a big
Oh,
job.
remember that?
That was a big one. Yeah, I remember. Calls every time? Cool.
Calling 811 is so easy, any tool could do it. It's quick and easy. Calling 811 gets your underground utility lines marked for free. It makes every project safer for everyone. Calling 811 before digging prevents utility outages, legal hassles, and personal injury.
Hey, safe digging is no accident. Always call 811 before you dig.
You're watching the Christian Television Network, proclaiming the most powerful name of all.
Hey, welcome back to the show again. My name is Blossom. Like I said, if you missed the first part of this, that's your fault. But we're going to let you stay here on the second part. Once again, I thank God for allowing me to have this mighty woman of God here sharing her organization, her dreams. Miss Denise Hare. Once again, I want to welcome you back to the show. Now, we went through your childhood. So you have an organization, and it's called
DOTS.
Okay, and DOTS mean?
Dreamers of Today's Society.
Okay, so how did you come up with that?
You know, I was telling you earlier that dream just always been on me, and I was like, why am I so stuck on dream? Then I realized that I was a dreamer. So I was just sitting down one day trying to come up with a name for the organization, and God gave me Dreamers of Today's Society, because it's today that our gifts are going to be used, and you know, for the present time and the future. So
yeah, wow. Okay, so now with your organization, okay, what do y'all? Is it all women, all men, mixture?
Well, first I started off with children. I was like, I'm just gonna focus on the kids. But then God spoke to me, and God was like, it's so much bigger than that. So after dealing with the kids, trying to reach out to them, we started women's sessions, and we held 3 of those last year. And it was to reach the women, you know, anybody. It don't matter, from the highest to the lows. It didn't matter, because we all, you know, God's children. And I just reached out to them, and you know, would sell tickets and stuff to purchase things to help get the event situated or whatever, and it worked out pretty good. So
okay, so you have like a little conference, a women's conference. That's what you're saying. Okay, that's good. So now do y'all have any plans or anything coming up soon?
Well, right now, God has been opening doors for me to go out and speak a lot.
Okay.
So I'm kind of focusing on that right now. But I also have a lot of women inquiring about some more women's sessions or whatever. So when God kind of let me kind of ease up a little bit, I'm going to start working back on that, because I know there's a need in our community.
Okay, and you have to stay encouraged, because if you don't, but most of all, we need to learn how to encourage ourselves. That's because right. Everybody's not going to pat you on the back. But I still want to hear more about the DOTS, you know what I'm saying? And what was the name again?
DOTS, Dreamers of Today's Society.
Wow, that's a blessing. Now, okay, so now with the children, you say you had the events for kids. What are you teaching the kids when you have a conference for them?
Okay, as we all know, children have so many talents and gifts or whatever, and you may see an 11-year-old who can braid hair. She can use that to make a little extra money, you know, for school or the summer or something like that. And also they have gifts that they may not only want to use in church, they want to use it in school or some other place just to learn how to make a little extra income. But of course, it's not about the money. It's all about God getting the glory. And so just getting them early, letting them know early in life that you can, you know, go after your dreams and your visions. So just kind of motivating them and inspiring them to go forth in their dreams and visions.
And do you think this all inspired back from when you were a little girl, your dreams and stuff? Now, as far as your dream, what big dreams have you had and that you have accomplished?
One of my biggest dreams I had was to speak in front of women. And I have had the opportunity to do that. And one of my bigger dreams is to like travel the world and share my story and, you know, meet other people from different backgrounds and different aspects of life and just, you know, kind of connect with them, and hopefully we can make a movement with this.
That's the best. Well, you know, I thank God, because you was also a speaker at one of the events that I gave. It's called Zion and Recovery. And you truly blessed them women. And that's what it's about. You know, even if they never remember your names, they'll always remember what you said to them, you know, and you planted a seed that nobody could take that away. And that's what dreams are about, just planting seeds, you know. And so now with your daughter, you got, what, 2?
2 daughters.
Okay, now do they dream big or?
Yes, my baby who's 10, she wanted to do an event for Down syndrome children.
Wow.
And it really touched my heart because, you know, she's my seed, and for what God is doing in my life, to see my baby want to come behind me and do something for people, it really touched me. So we got to get to work on that too.
That's a blessing. How old is she now?
She's 10 now.
Okay. And your other daughter?
My other daughter, she's kind of doing her own thing right now. She wants to be a dancer, beautician, and all that kind of stuff. So So she's dreaming big too, and you know, but she loves to help though. They're my little assistants when we out having events. Right. So you may see them walking around passing out stuff or getting you what you need. Right. So they're helping me a lot too.
Well, that's pass it on, and that's right. The good thing about it. We need to show our generation because you know they're being shown so much different stuff on Facebook and YouTube, and so you know that's a blessing that they want to walk in your shoes, you know what I'm saying? Because as a little girl, you know, you used to go sneak in your mama's room, put her shoes on, you know, but now we want to make sure that they're wearing the right shoes. And in learning at home, and my great-grandmother, she raised me, but when you get out there in the streets, you're going to get caught up, you know what I'm saying? Right. That's how I got pregnant at a young age and everything. So it always started at home. I don't care how far I went out, I still remember how to say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. So it starts at home, and that's a blessing. Now, I'm still want to go back to this DOTS now. So, like I said, so at the conferences, what other kind of speakers do you have?
I get, well, the first conference that we did, it was titled, My Life, My Story. Thank you, Lord, for turning my ashes into beauty. And, you know, I shared my testimony, of course, about how, you know, I went through hearing loss and, you know, feeling betrayed and disappointed by people and all that kind of stuff. So after that, I opened the floor to other women to come up and tell their testimonies. And it was kind of like a, you know, I got your back kind of thing with sisters, and I'm here for you because we was fellowshipping in the midst of people telling their testimonies, and we had women to go to each other and was like, you know what, I went through that. So it's kind of like to open it up to people to let them know you can be yourself. Right. I'm not here to judge you, and you shouldn't judge me. We're here to just get it in the open because this is an environment that we're going to love on you.
And you know what, I think that's real odd when it comes to us women. Men can just give each other that, man, bro, what's up? Sometimes us women, we get mad because they have more straighter than ours, or I'm happy to be nappy, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have no problem with saying you look good today. That's not going to take nothing from me, you know what I'm saying? Because I look good. When I look in the mirror, I'm seeing myself 5'7", nice 112 pounds. That's my dream, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're supposed to do, encourage one another, you know, and so I still applaud you to that. But like I said, so now what was your second conference?
The second conference was, Am I My Sister's Keeper?
Wow. Now, you know what? Some people take that she's trying to be nosy, you know what I'm saying? But we are our sister keepers, you know what I'm saying? Why, if I see that you finna walk out there in the street and get hit by that Mack truck, why I'm not going to say, Denise, don't do that, you know what I'm saying? So that's powerful there, but everybody's not on the same level.
That's right.
So it don't matter about age. It just means the mentality. You know what I'm saying? Now back to the third one. What was your conference with that one?
The third one, my friend actually called me and she was like, Nene, let's do diamonds and pearls.
Wow.
So we did diamonds and pearls, and the diamonds were the young ladies who's coming into the knowledge of the Lord and learning the things of Christ, and the pearls is the women who's already in the Lord, who's been here a while, and pretty much going by their way with their visions and dreams what God has given them.
Wow, so. Wow, and that just goes back to it's a scripture I'm paraphrasing. It said that the older is supposed to teach the younger, and that's what that is, you know. That, and all of them are powerful. My sister's keeper. Diamonds and pearls, and first one was
My Life, My Story. Thank you, Lord, for turning my ashes into beauty.
That's what I'm talking about, you know. So what was meant for evil, God's gonna get the glory out of it, you know. It may not feel good, but it's gonna work for our good, you know what I'm saying? So all the people that sat and laughed at you once you lost your hearing, I want you to look into the camera and you just tell them what God has done, doing, and gonna do, and minister to them. It's not by choice, by our choice that you're sitting up here. You're up here so that you'll be able to help somebody else. And that's why I tell a lot of people, we go through so we'll be able to pull somebody else through. So minister to someone that's in the ones that came in on the second part. You know, the early bird always gets the worm. So we'll let them get a little bit of your little story. So just minister to somebody.
Okay. Well, hello, dreamer. I just want to tell you that no matter who you are, where you come from, that God can use you. And no matter what you've done, it's not too hard for God to get the glory, because you don't want to get the glory yourself. You want the man who gave it to you to get it. So that way he can bless you with many, many more. So whatever you do, don't give up and keep on dreaming, dreamers.
And you, for somebody to be so short, you can, I mean, you can say that word with power. Say it again now.
Dreamer.
You see how powerful that is? And it gets the person's attention, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what somebody might be going through. I don't care what, if it's small, I'm a dreamer, I'm gonna get up and go open that door. Just something small, do something small daily. When you try to get overloaded, then that's when we get discouraged,
That's
you know?
right.
So, and just write down your vision.
That's right.
Write down your dreams. And when you get discouraged, you can go back and look at it, you know what I'm saying? Like with these items, I look at these items the night that I surrendered in the crack house. I don't want to wear them shoes no more. Now, they're pretty, but I don't want to put them shoes back on no more, you know what I'm saying? So he's giving me a vision to keep on, and I tell a lot of people, if you can't wear them mentally or physically, there's nothing you can tell me. These shoes are 11 years old. It's by the grace of God that I'm sitting here. So I'm dreaming big. Now we're sitting on the talk show, and I'm dreaming that we're going to walk down the red carpet because that book is going to be made to a movie. That's my dream, you know, and I'm going to stand still and know who God is. But like with that being said, I want to thank you for coming and sharing your story and continue, keep dreaming big. And I ask that God show you favor.
Amen. Because
it's not easy trying to tell somebody that they can't dream, because you have so many people saying you can't do this, can't do that, but you just keep on doing what God told you to do. And like I said, I wanted to let everybody know, I like to close the show with a scripture that says Jeremiah 29:11, and I'm paraphrasing it. It says that he wants the best for his children. He just don't want to give you anything.
That's right.
Expect the best. That's the word. Expect the best. No matter what man say, God has the last say so. And Denise, I want to thank you for reminding us we can dream big.
That's right.
Keep on dreaming, keep on pressing, press till you can't press no more. That's what it's about. And with that being said, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and y'all come on back now.
Welcome to Creation Minute. I'm Eric Hovind. The Grand Canyon. 277 miles long, 10 to 18 miles wide, and more than a mile deep. That's impressive. In the bottom is the Colorado River. You know, some scientists suggest the Colorado River formed the Grand Canyon over millions of years. But take a look at these facts to see it from a different perspective. The Colorado River exits the canyon 1,800 feet above sea level. It enters the canyon 2,800 feet above sea level, and the top of Grand Canyon is 7,000 feet above sea level. So you tell me, did the river flow uphill for millions of years to carve out the Grand Canyon? Or is it possible that the Grand Canyon is the result of Noah's flood? To learn more about creation, visit us at creationminute.com.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. Protected the weak and defeated the strong. Shown courage and compassion. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
I always wanted a family. I waited for one, but it never seemed to work out. I would see other families and think how great it would be, but at least we had each other. And then my wife and I had the chance to be parents. Two brothers wanted to be adopted together. Every day they fill us with hope and love. All the things we thought we were supposed to give them. Call the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, 800-ASK-DTFA. You'll change a child's life forever.